Good morning, students. In last lecture we have seen that different types of filter, their advantages and disadvantages. But if you analyze this block diagram of DC power supply, there are different types of output for each block. This is AC input, this is rectifier input, that is step down input, while output of the rectifier is DC, but this is not pure DC, so that contains a ripple factor and it can be filtered with the help of filter circuit. Okay, but still this output of the filter is fluctuating. Means what happens? Means there are some ripples present in the output of the filter circuit. As we have discussed in the last topic, this is RC filter circuit, there is a load resistance. Now, today we are going to see about, learn about voltage regulators. Okay students, there are different type of voltage regulators. Zener as a voltage regulator, IC LM317, this is a 3-pin IC voltage regulator. Then transistorized voltage regulator, SMPS means switched mode power supply voltage regulators. Before starting voltage regulators, let us see what is mean by voltage regulation. In the voltage regulation, when unregulated power supply is used, ripples are filtered from the rectifier. Okay? And we get sufficiently steady DC output. But the voltage across this load resistance, may change because the supply does not have good voltage regulation. The output voltage reduces as the load current increases. The DC output voltage changes with the change in the AC input. Okay? I repeat again. The DC output voltage changes with the change in the AC input voltage. Therefore, to maintain, here we have to maintain a constant voltage across this load resistance even when there are variation in either AC supply voltage or load current or both. Both means load current or AC both, or there is a change in AC voltage or there is a change in the load current. Okay students? Therefore, the voltage regulators are necessary. Now, let us see, there are different type of characteristics of power supply. They are depends on the different factor. As the quality of power supply depends on its load voltage, load current, voltage regulation and other factors. So let us see all the characteristics of power supply. This is first characteristics, load regulation. Students, remember that load resistance means the resistance which we have connected at the output of the supply. Okay, it is very important that to connect this load resistor, it controls the excess current or it drops the voltage across it. Due to that, the voltage regulation is possible. Okay, but some factors are necessary to maintain the voltage regulator with this load resistance. What are these factors? Let us see. As first characteristics is load regulation. The load regulation or load effect is defined as the change in regulated output voltage when the load current means the current across this load resistance. Okay students, I repeat again, the load regulation is defined as the change in regulated output voltage when the load current changes from minimum to maximum value. Okay. Now, this is the definition of load regulation. Now, let us see in the form of equations. So, according to the definition, load regulation is defined as the change in regulated output voltage when load current changes from minimum to maximum. Okay students, therefore we can write load regulation is equal to LR, L for load, R for regulation, VNL minus VFL. What is this VNL and VFL? Here VNL is equal to load voltage with no load current and VFL is equal to load voltage with full load current. Okay students, now all of you have to remember that this VNL, load voltage with no load current. Okay, so if a power supply delivers, consider this example, if a power supply delivers 12 volt at zero load current and 11.8 volt at full load current. Okay, means if the load resistance is connected, that is called as a load voltage with full load, and if load resistance is not connected, load voltage with no load current. Now let us see, by using this formula, by putting the value, this VNL means load voltage with no load current, it is given that is 12 volt. Okay students, this is VNL and this is VFL 11.8. Okay, now this percent, therefore load regulation is equal to 12 minus 11.8, that is equal to 0.2 volt. If we have to find out percentage of load regulation, then the formula will be VNL minus VFL upon VFL multiply by 100, and we know that the subtraction gives 0.2 volt. We have to divide this by 11.8 and multiply by 100. So by calculating these all terms, we'll get the load regulation is equal to 1.69%. Got it student? Now all of you got it, the load regulation and percentage of load regulation. Okay students, the question will be asked like this: what is mean by load regulation and what is mean by line regulation? Explain them. This question may be asked for 3 or 4 marks. Okay, so remember these formulas. And sometimes the question maybe arises like this: explain any 2 characteristics of power supply. So you can explain load regulation and line regulation. Okay, now after load regulation there is a second characteristics of power supply, line regulation. This line regulation is also called as a source regulation, or simply we can write this as a SR. The line regulation is defined as the change in the output voltage. The change in the output voltage for specified range of line voltage. Now, what is meant by specified range of line voltage? Typically, 230 volt plus minus 10%. This is the range of line voltage. Lines means input voltage. Okay. Then the line voltage changes from 207 to 253 volt. If load voltage changes from 8 8.8 volt to 9 volt, then regulation, that is, yes, source regulation, okay. Source regulation is equal to 9 minus 8.8 volt, that is 0.2 volt. And if we have to find out percentage of source regulation, then the formula is equal to source regulation or line regulation upon V nominal, V norm, we write in short V norm, multiply by 100, where this V norm this V norm represents nominal load voltage and SR is the change in load voltage for full line voltage. Okay students, if you analyzing carefully, see here, load regulation is 0.2 or it is in percentage 1.69% and source regulation is about 0.2. Then we can say that for a good power supply, yes, for a good power supply, percentage of LR means percentage of load regulation and percentage of source regulation should be very small. Or in another words, we can say that means fluctuations means there is a change. What is the definition of load regulation? What is the definition of load regulation? It is the change in the regulated output voltage, means there is a change when load current changes from minimum to maximum. And here this is a source regulation, the change in the output voltage for specified range of the line voltage. Means simply there is a change or there is a fluctuations, and as the fluctuations or percentage of change in the fluctuation like a load regulation and source regulations are very small, then the power supply having good quality. Okay students, this is the third characteristics of power supply, output impedance. The output impedance of a regulated power supply is very small at low frequencies and it is given by Z out. Why Z letter? Because impedance is always denoted by this letter Z out. CL is equal to Z out OL upon 1 plus AB. Now here are different terms. This Z out CL represent closed loop impedance, while Z out OL represent open loop impedance. And what is mean by closed loop and what is mean by open loop? Students, all of you know that in previous standard in oscillators we have seen that what is mean by closed loop and what is mean by open loop. Means when feedback is given to the input, that is called as a closed loop, and when feedback is not given to the input, that is called as an open loop. Is that clear students? Now this is closed loop impedance ZCL, open loop impedance Z out, okay, and this A beta, this is most important factor. This affect the overall impedance of the circuit or the DC power supply. The AB is the open loop feedback factor, this open loop gain feedback factor, or simply this A beta is called as a gain feedback factor. Okay students, this gain feedback factor is the open loop gain, approximately the gain of an op-amp times this reduces the power supply DC and low frequency output to just milliohms or less, providing near ideal load regulation performance. So this is most important. By using this output impedance, we'll get the good quality power supply. Okay, since the power supply is a source, its output impedance is always minimum. It is effective output impedance of power supply using an emitter follower circuit in the output in the output of power supply. Okay students, and therefore the effective output resistance of a power supply. So this is most important. Using an emitter follower circuit in the output of power supply normally reduces the output impedance, and the output impedance of this regulated power supply is very small at low frequencies. Now, according to this equation, the use of voltage feedback, this feedback reduces the output impedance. Regulated power supplies have typical output impedance is milliohm. Now students, you can understand easily by using this equation, as the term at the denominator is very, very high, therefore it reduces the impedance, and for reducing this, A beta factor should be very, very high. Okay students, now let us see next characteristics of power supply, that is ripple rejection. Ripple rejection. As you know that output of the rectifier contains ripple factor that can be minimized with the help of filter. Ripple indicates the change in input voltage. A voltage regulator reduces the ripple that comes in with the input voltage. So, the ripple rejection is usually specified in decibels. How it is? And if you observe that this ripple rejection of 40 dB. Now, as an example, ripple rejection of 40 decibel means the output ripple is 100 times smaller than input ripple. Okay, therefore we can write here 40 decibel is equal to 20 log to the base 10 V output, that is ripple, upon V input ripple. Okay students. Now fifth characteristics of power supply is overload or over voltage protection. In a power supply, due to overloading, a large current flows which may damage it. Overloading can occur due to short circuit or negligible load resistance. Students, all of you know that sometimes you can see the fluctuations in the light or light continuously blinking and switch on off. So that is also called as a overloading. While switching on big electrical equipment, this problem occurs at home, or while operating some big electrical equipment, we can see such changes. This is also related to over voltage or overload. So for that purpose, in the combination, the electrical equipment and voltage stabilizers are used at home or in some offices. So here in some power supplies, protection is provided against temporary overloading. Current limiting technique is used for this purpose, and nowadays inbuilt overload protection circuit is available in all electrical equipment in latest version of different type of electrical equipment. This inbuilt voltage stabilizer protects the electrical equipment from damaging due to overload. So this is also one of the most important characteristics, that is overload or over voltage protection. In short, we can use this overload circuit in the form of voltage stabilizers for different type of electrical equipments. Okay students, so there are 5 characteristics. load regulation, line regulation, output impedance, ripple rejection, and overload protection. From these all 5 characteristics, 2 characteristics are asked in the board exam many times. They are load regulations and line regulation. So you have to do practice for that too, that is overload, load regulation and line regulation. Now this is a first voltage regulator called as a Zener regulator. This Zener is a semiconductor device. This is a symbol of Zener diode. This is anode of the diode, while this is a cathode. This figure shows the symbol of Zener diode. You can see this cathode looks like a Zener Z shape. So the name is given Zener regulator. Now this is Zener diode is a PN junction diode which is heavily doped. What is meant by doping? Doping is nothing but adding some impurity to a pure semiconductor. Okay students? The depletion layer is very narrow. By varying the doping level, it is possible to produce Zener diodes with breakdown voltage that is in the range from 2 to 200 volt. Therefore, Zener diode can operate in any of 3 regions: in forward, then in reverse or leakage, then breakdown. Means in the forward region, the Zener diode acts like an ordinary diode. It starts conducting about 0.7 volt. The region between 0 and breakdown, the region between this 0 and breakdown, this is called as leakage region. Why this leakage region? Because the current flows due to minority charge carriers, and at that point this Zener diode conducts in a reverse bias directions. Means what? The anode of the Zener is connected to the negative terminal and cathode of the this Zener diode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Okay students? In this region, there is only a small leakage or reverse current, okay, that flows through this Zener diode. In a Zener diode, the breakdown has very sharp knee. This point is called as a knee point. Knee point. Okay students? Why knee point? Because the portion this is looks like a knee point, so the name is given knee point. This is the shape looks like knee, therefore this is called as a knee point. Therefore in a Zener diode, the breakdown has a very sharp knee followed by an almost vertical increase in current. On the y-axis, this is a current. There is an increase in a reverse current, and this reverse current is flows due to the minority charge carriers. Okay students? Therefore, the voltage is almost constant. You can see at this point the voltage is constant. There is no variation. Then, and approximately equals to Vz over most of the breakdown region. Okay students, Vz is specified at a particular test current IZT. For normal operation, current through this diode should be limited by an external circuit to suitable value, otherwise large current will damage the Zener diode. Okay students? As we know, there are some ratings to these diodes, current rating and power rating. First is the power dissipation, that is, this is the product of voltage and current. Because power is present, therefore P is equal to current across the zener multiplied by voltage across the zener. Okay, as long as PZ is less than the power rating, that is PZM, the zener diode can operate in reverse, that is breakdown region, without being destroyed. Power rating may be 1/4 watt. Okay, 1/4 watt, 1/4 watt to more than 50 watt. Okay students, now second is current rating, that maximum current rating. Maximum current rating, this is denoted by IZM, and this current is given by IZM is equal to PZM, as we know that P is equal to I into V. By rearranging the equation, this current rating can be written as IZM is equal to PZM upon VZ. This is the maximum current rating a zener can handle without exceeding its power rating, where this PZM is the power rating and VZ is the voltage across this zener diode. And third one, zener resistance. Zener resistance, what it gives? This is nothing but zener resistance is given by change in the voltage across the zener diode to the change in the current. Zener resistance or zener impedance, this is also called as a impedance, is specified at same test current. This is IZT used to measure VZ. Dynamic impedance is given by Z is given by delta VZ upon delta IZ. Now let us see how this zener can be used as a voltage regulator. As this is the diagram of zener as a voltage regulator, this is also called as a shunt regulator, because this zener diode is connected in parallel with the unregulated power supply. Okay students, and by using this graphical representation, in normal forward bias region this diode acts as an ordinary diode, but in reverse bias direction it gives the constant voltage with sudden increase in the current. So this is called as a breakdown region. Okay, now let us see how this circuit works. The zener diode is used to regulate the voltage across the load resistance. As this is the zener diode, it connected in a reverse bias direction. This is the resistance which is connected in series with the unregulated power supply. Therefore, the name is given RS. The current through this resistor is IS. Current through this zener diode is IZ. And the load resistance RL is variable resistance. The current through this resistance is IL. Okay. So, the zener diode is used to regulate the voltage across a load when there are variation in the supply voltage or load current. The zener regulator is connected in between the unregulated power supply and load resistance. The zener regulator consists of this current limiting resistor, okay, and this load resistance, okay. As this zener diode is reverse biased, the diode selected with a breakdown voltage VZ, here VZ, okay, equal to the voltage desired across the load, and that is given by Rs is equal to, where we have to write the equation for the resistance, that is Rs is equal to Vs minus Vz upon Is, where Is is current from this supply. Current from unregulated supply. In the similar way, we can write here Is is equal to Vs minus Vz upon Rs, where Is is the current through Zener plus current through load resistance. Okay, students? So, this equation is most important. Why? This equation gives the voltage upon current, that is the resistance of this unregulated power supply, and this is given here series resistance. So, the current through this supply is given by this Rs, that is Is. Therefore, this voltage induced across voltage drop across this series resistance minus voltage drop across this Zener diode upon this current, that is is the current from unregulated power supply, and this Is is nothing but, that is current from the supply is given by Vs minus Vz upon Rs. Only rearranging the equation, where Is is equal to this Iz plus IL. Is that clear? So, effect of supply variation voltage is given by, if there is increase in the current, therefore there is an increase in the voltage across this source resistance. Okay, the load current IL remains constant. Remember, student, if the voltage is increases, we can write in short form. Students, you will get the clear idea how to remember the working of this voltage regulator. That is, if voltage, that is Vs, goes on increasing, therefore current across the Zener also goes on increasing. That is the extra voltage. Okay, as this extra voltage is increased, the extra voltage is dropped across Rs, therefore the output voltage across the load remains constant. Means, as this IL remains constant, so VL also remains, IL and VL remains constant. Okay. Now what happens when Vs, when the voltage, if there is decrease in the Vs, that is the input voltage, therefore this Zener current, okay, decreases, and as there is a decrease in the voltage, decrease in the current, that is Zener current, therefore the voltage drop across Rs is reduced. Means the voltage drop across Rs is reduced. Voltage drop across RS reduced. Okay. Now students, as there is a voltage drop across RS is reduced. Okay. Therefore, this reduced voltage makes IL constant. As IL is constant, IL is nothing but the current through this load resistance. It is given here. As this is constant, so VL also constant. And if it is constant, so we can say that this is the regulated voltage. Okay student, I repeat again. When this voltage initially, if this is increased here, therefore current also increases across the zener, as there is increase in the extra current across the zener, which makes this IL, that is current across this load resistance, constant. As this current is constant, so therefore here this voltage across this load resistance, that is VL, remains constant. Now in second case, if suppose when the voltage, this is the less voltage across the supply, or there is a decrease in the input voltage, okay, supply or this input voltage, as there is a decrease in the input voltage, therefore this also decreases the current across the zener, because this decreased voltage due to this resistance connected here, so less current will be dropped across, less current will be developed across this zener. Therefore, this reduced voltage, reduced current is responsible for voltage drop across this RS. Therefore, the load current remains constant. As this load current remains constant, this voltage at the output, that is voltage at the across this load resistance, remains constant. Okay students, in this way today we have learnt about the voltage regulator using Zener diode or Zener as a voltage regulator. This is the part about change in the input voltage, okay, that is a supply voltage variation. Now what about supply current or load current variations? When Zener diode operates in a breakdown, this is breakdown, okay, Zener voltage Vz remains constant even though the current flowing through it may change, okay. When there is reduction in load resistance, this load resistance, load current IL increases. The current Iz decreases by same percentage and Is is kept constant. Therefore, drop across RS is kept constant and output voltage remains constant in this way. So, we can say that when load resistance increases, load current decreases. When load resistance increases, load current decreases. As this decrease in the load current, Iz increases, okay. As this is increase in the Iz, therefore Is kept constant. This constant Is keeps the output voltage constant, okay. As we get the constant output voltage, so we can say that this is exact output of a Zener voltage regulator. So in this way, Zener diode voltage regulator provides line regulation as well as load regulation. These two characteristics of good characteristics of power supply. Okay students, this is enough for today. In next lecture, we'll see transistorized voltage regulator with current limiting device. Okay students, this is enough for today. Thank you.